You have volunteers that come some of them multiple days and come only certain days, so they have some flexibility there, right? So how would somebody get involved? And can volunteers choose in which area they want to involve? If it's
there's a lot of special opportunities that volunteers get because you're truly behind the scenes as a volunteer.
Hello from Vegas. We're at the ICAST conference here, and I'm with Dave Rees from the Abbotsford International Airshow. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Anna.
So, as we all know, Abbotsford Airshow is like the biggest, the greatest, and the main aviation event of the year around Vancouver area for sure, and beyond. So, how many people does it take to make it happen?
Well, it takes a whole lot of people. So we've only got a very small staff team of 3 full-time people and then a couple of summer students. So the real workforce is actually our volunteer team, which is as high as 700 people each year. So
wow.
Anywhere from 400 to 500 people on site each day.
So you have volunteers that come some of them multiple days and come only certain days, so they have some flexibility there, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll have some volunteers that'll volunteer just for one day or even a half day, depending on where they're volunteering. We'll have some that'll volunteer for the whole weekend. And then we have some who volunteer with us year round, working on infrastructure projects and upkeep of some of our supplies.
And I find it was so cool that for some of the volunteers that I've talked at the shows, I was like, we get to talk to this performer. So what I find is amazing that the access that they see and they get that is uncomparable to just being a spectator and watching the planes fly, but you also get to touch and talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of special opportunities that volunteers get because you're truly behind the scenes as a volunteer on things like practice day. That's also our setup day, or one of our major setup days. So we'll have a lot of volunteers on site at a time when there is no public. So it's often an opportunity where, whether it's static display crews setting up their aircraft or performers, they're not shy about talking with volunteers. And you get basically an opportunity outside of the public hours to interact with some of those folks. And then we also go out of our way to set up special opportunities for our volunteers. We'll do some events throughout the year for volunteer appreciation, where sometimes we'll bring a performer back into the area to do maybe a special tour of their aircraft, meet and greet with some of our volunteers, or a special movie night, or a variety of other ways that we get together as a volunteer team and a family and just celebrate. Yeah.
And I've heard you have many returning volunteers, though, permanent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our volunteer. Some of our volunteers have tenures as long as 30 or more years. So we have volunteers that, every year that it's their first time volunteering. Obviously with as many as 700 volunteers, we're constantly looking for new volunteers. But yeah, once you become a volunteer at the air show, it's quite common that you stay with us for many years and in fact, potentially decades.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a great learning opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many opportunities to volunteer right across the site, whether it's in aircraft operations, whether it's in public hospitality, or a variety of other areas. So there's a ton of opportunities for learning, not only just in the aviation space, but even in event production and hospitality and you name it. There's probably an area of the air show where there's a learning opportunity for it.
And it enhances your resume?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, I think most employers love seeing community participation. They love seeing volunteer experience. And I mean, obviously, if you're looking to get into an aviation field, any experience in a major aviation production like the Abbotsford Airshow, it always looks good on a resume.
So how would somebody get involved?
Sure. So if you're interested in volunteering in the Abbotsford Airshow, you can go on our website. We usually open up our volunteer applications sometime in the early spring, but you can always email us at info@abbotsfordairshow.com. Let us know you're interested, and we'll put you on our mailing list so that when we do open up new volunteer applications, we'll reach out to you and get in touch.
And can volunteers choose in which area they want to involve, if it's marketing or aircraft ops, parking, I don't know?
Yeah, to a certain degree. Part of our intake process for new volunteers is a bit of an interview, and we'll find out what the interests of the volunteer are. And then we'll try and match that with obviously the needs that we have as an organization. So we can't always guarantee that you get to do exactly what you want necessarily, but we try and find the best fit for what the volunteer is interested in doing and what they're good at and where we have a need.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing, Dave.
You're very welcome.
And contact, have fun, join the show, and contribute to aviation.
Thanks so much.
We all love doing it, so join us.